And if you didn't think about this, I just saved you around $3,000 worth in panels, installation and regret. What in the deep Finnish forest is this? 2 years ago, I used impregnated wood and now there is wood sprouting everywhere. Here, here, here. And somehow my wife got pregnant too. We named our son Oak. I guess things got a little too pressure treated. Hello sauna lovers, Martin here again. With or without a thumbnail, I have not decided yet. But you probably know me by now. Today I'm answering your best questions, geeking out on my sauna build and showing you where you can save a lot of money. Detailed price list of my build, and at the end I'll even tell you my earnings from this sauna video. Why you must use aluminum foil and nothing else, how to pick the right sized oven, how to get the proper ventilation so you don't pass out in the sauna, window glass, roof angles, fireproofing and more. You didn't insulate the bloody floor, mate. Actually sent out emails asking for sponsorships or even collabs, but nobody answered my call. Even though my video is one of the most loved DIY sauna builds out there, thanks to you. So here I am, unpaid, unbiased, and apparently unwanted by sauna stuff producers and my fellow YouTubers. But loved by some of you out there. So it's totally worth buying me a handkerchief. Only if you learn something new, because this video can save you thousands of dollars and possibly your health. If it happens, check out the thanks button down there and I'll remind you after every money-saving learning point. And I would love a new subscriber to my family too. So let's start saving you some money. I had to go for a plastic vapor barrier. But how is the aluminum tape holding up around the pipe? I will tape it. Plastic versus aluminum vapor barrier. Plastic barrier. Pros, it's cheap, easy to find and simple to work with. Cons, according to the producer, do not use it over 35 degrees Celsius. It's not heat resistant and it can deform or melt above 70 degrees. And as we know, saunas do like 80, 90, even 100. It's non-reflective and your sauna won't get as warm. And it can even release toxic fumes when heated. Aluminum foil, also called sauna foil, bassufolie or aluminum vapor barrier. Pros, it's heat resistant above 100 degrees Celsius, acts as a heat reflector and lasts practically forever. Cons, slightly more expensive, a bit trickier to install, and in Norway you'll probably have to mail order it. And here's the thing, aluminum doesn't come with the creeping anxiety of plastic. No slow melting, no mystery fumes, and no surprise mold colonies plotting behind your panels. And hey, what's the price of that peace of mind? Probably less than therapy or rebuilding your whole sauna from scratch. Remember, always use aluminum tape to seal the overlaps between the sheets. A 50-meter roll of tape costs about $20 and 30 square meters of sauna foil costs around 50 or 60 or 70 or something. So, but for $70 in total, you're basically buying a one-time insurance policy against ripping down panels and redoing the whole job. If you hadn't thought about this, I may have just saved you around $3,000 in panels, insulation and frustration. Honestly, the foil might be the most important part of your entire build when you compare money spent versus money possibly saved. And yes, before any comments, I know in the first sauna video I had that clean, freshly shaved, civilized look. 2 years later, the sauna has changed me. I've gone full Shaman Viking. Turns out, if you sit enough in steam and birch scent, you just don't sweat, you evolve. My working face though, still just as ugly. Question from Slayer. You didn't insulate the bloody floor, mate. Straight to the point, I like that. Next time, just spit me in the face while you're at it. Slayer 45140. My build might look like it has an uninsulated floor, but actually, it's partially insulated. I've got a 2.8 centimeter wooden floor that does not touch the ground, plus a 1 centimeter airtight wet board on top, giving me around 3.8 centimeters of insulation. Now this setup has worked surprisingly well with one little catch. The wet board can only take about 74 degrees before the core starts melting. So far, no problem, but most likely because the floor never gets as hot as the benches. Measured the tile in front of the oven at 50 degrees. I got a quiet confidence for now. I even throw a bit of water in front of the oven just to keep the tiles a bit cooler. And the good part, the tiles get warm enough so that the water evaporates on its own. I don't even have to mop up. It's genius by accident. Must be the luck of the Irish. I did live in Dublin for a few years and maybe a little leprechaun rubbed off me. Hello again, my friend. I revisit this video often. It's the best one I've found. Did you slope the floor to that drain at all? I'm looking at the bend square method for my build. Since the water evaporates from the tiles, sloping the floor in my build is not needed. Tip, what I would have done differently the next time, I would have poured a 1 to 2 centimeter self-levering concrete on top of that, on those wet boards, giving better support to the tiles and less heat on the wet boards beneath. But my version still holds still. Hi Martin, I'm Frida. Super video. What is the angle of your roof? Do you have any recommendations? Super question, Frida. The roof has a gradient of about 10 centimeter per meter, which gives around a roughly 10% slope. I chose a roofing material rated for a minimum of 3%, so we're well within the safe zone. It's a single slope roof, the easiest kind to build, and it also saves money because you only need 1 gutter and 1 downspout, not 2. Less material, less work, and 1 less thing to clean every autumn when the leaves attack. My main advice, whatever roof you choose, make sure it's watertight, breathes well, and lets heat and moisture escape efficiently. I went with what we call a cold roof, and it's the old school Nordic way. Excellent video, Martin. Not sure if you covered this, but what are the measurements of the lufting in the ceiling? Very aware that my ventilation setup is for a wood-fired oven and not electric. Electric heaters demands different type of venting than wood-fired. It's because the electric does not have the same power of sucking in fresh air in. I followed Harvia's guide in venting wood-fired ovens, but learned something after the build. I can shame them a bit now since they did not want to sponsor this video. If I built this today, I would have added another exhaust down here. What are the measurements of the air vent? It's a 125 millimeter ceiling vent and 50 millimeter in the floor. And if I'm in trouble, I could always add an adjustable vent on the bottom of the door. Using 100 millimeter behind the oven would probably be my preferred size now, but I have not had any problems with my 50 millimeter. Why does a sauna need good venting? Oxygen supply for the stove and for you, air circulation and comfort, and the carbon monoxide. If you get dizzy in a sauna, it's most likely because of lack of venting. Good ventilation keeps you alive and your wood from turning into a mushroom farm. Do remember to have some wall space above the door to save some of your löjla, steamed air from exiting while going in and out of your sauna. Did you need building permission for this? Let's just let that hang in there. This will vary a lot from country to country and also within what we in Norway call kommune, municipality, and then we further divide that into what the residential purpose of the land is. Some have to apply, others don't. It depends on your country laws and regulations. I own the land and setting up a little shack like this shouldn't be a subject to bureaucratic overreach, in my opinion. Next. Hello Martin, I'm Stefan Page. Did you use rebar within the 1-inch fireproofing behind the oven? Short answer, yes. Always use rebar for free floating concrete slabs. Ha 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 ha. Some dude in Australia laughs about finding second-hand double-glazed windows. Meanwhile, in Norway, many people throw them away in the junkyard, while I pick them up for free to build stuff with it. What does an Australian laughter sound like anyway? Sergei Rudenko. Someone told me that window glass should be tempered, another that it should be thermo. Wondering if we could use ordinary glass from modern plastic windows. I interpret this as they have a glass window in a plastic frame they want to use, and it should be fine if the plastic can take the temperature without deforming and breaking down. But a closer look at PVC frames, at 60 Celsius they soften and lose its shapes. At 80 to 90 degrees, chemical degrading happens and you might get like fumes and chemicals you don't want. To be on the safe side, I would have taken the glass out of the PVC frame and fastened the windows like I did in my window. Yes. Next. Are from Norway. I dig your videos. I see you use a normal window. I'm thinking of buying a 1K tempered window. How does your solution hold up in regards to temperature? So technically the rule says it must be tempered glass, not because of the heat, but so you don't slice yourself into a salad if you throw yourself through the window. Bureaucracy, right? I don't even know about that rule until after I built the sauna. This one's just a regular double-glazed house window, probably from the 90s. If it ever breaks, I will replace it with a proper double-pane tempered sauna window, the gold standard, because I will never find another free second-hand window that will fit my custom-made window slot. I took the glass out of its painted frame because paint and 100 degrees don't mix. Sealed it with Tech 7, which actually holds up to 90 degrees Celsius and keeps it tight. The frame hides the seal and keeps it cooler. The window is also placed safely away from the oven. So technically, yeah, it's not legal, but it's holding strong so far. Use second-hand windows at your own risk. Mine's still alive and sweating with me without any cracks. Next. It was going great until you blasphemed my savior. Sorry man, I can't watch your channel any longer. I accidentally said some words after I got chicken poo in my face. And I was supposed to flip that chicken poo somewhere and it hit me in the face. God damn it. This and the eyes, it's disgusting. And the interesting thing from my perspective about how some people of all religions go against their own words sometimes and therefore putting themselves in the same situation that I now find myself in. Before I excuse myself from growing up in the magic 80s and 90s with learning English from Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone and Eddie Murphy, I didn't even think of it as a blasphemy. I always took it for some common American mild swearing thing with non-godly accusations in it, which points us back to these biblical words, "Forgive me, Father, for I know not always what I do." And for you people dealing out judgment based on one mistake, Luke 6:47, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." God bless you, Irvin Taylor, 6508. Lots of love to you, brother, and may the force be with you. On my personal experiences with this sauna, I didn't need some LED lights I installed, and I prefer a low light setting. Lying down and closing my eyes is my favorite position in the sauna. I really suck at installing doors, and the door has been a bit leaky at the top, most likely because I installed it upside down because I wanted to have the opening this way and not that way. I tried fixing the leak and installed a magnet that doesn't always work. The door is still a bit of a challenge. The bench material felt a bit cheap. A better feeling with quality leaf wood types like aspen or alder would be great. Mine's still okay. I will upgrade sometime in the future when all of that handkerchief money can pay for it. Hi, my name is Jens. I think I have seen most sauna builds on YouTube, and this must be the best, like so many people are writing. Yes, I want to build one. I'm not a carpenter, but I will give it a try. What did it cost? I feel honored to be your guide in this, gents, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. Sharing is caring. Here is the rundown of the costs. Stuff I bought at full price: cement $60, wood for construction $600, roofing material set me back about $300, wood stainer $50, insulation, it was new but I bought it secondhand, $100, sauna door secondhand $80, aluminum vapor barrier and tape $70, panel inside, freight and material $950, reused leftover paneling for bench, saving me a lot. Harvia Pro 20 oven in 2023 cost me $595. Pipe kit $840. I never thought it would cost more than the oven. A bit of a surprise there. Sauna rocks $60. You could find some granite rocks yourself though. Other stuff $365. And free stuff, outside paneling for free, 2 days job tearing down a shed. Total $4,000 in cost. $2,000 in YouTube revenue, not exactly early retirement, but it's half the sauna paid off and 100% worth it. This sauna has really helped me through the winter, becoming a meeting place for my friends and a family sauna session. We add some essential oils to the water and enjoy the scent of pine or lavender, reminding us of the wonderful summer when the water evaporates and the smell fills the room. Thanks to everyone who watched the first sauna video. It's wild how far it's gone for me. And if you are still enjoying this video, push the buttons and share it with a fellow sauna dreamer. And I'll see you in the next build.